business activities, list with expert opinions, stakeholders analysis, and correspondence reports. Headlines. In Ogun State, government seeks collaboration for sustainable growth. Tinubu clarifies benefits for all states. European stocks suffer worst monthly loss since 2023. By the end of the show, you can be rest assured of being informed accurately of financial activities around the world. I am your host, Wendy Aguma. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll reveal out the details. Don't go anywhere.
The people of Maiduguri need your help. A catastrophic flood has engulfed the city, leaving over 1 million residents stranded and fighting for survival. Entire communities are submerged, with people trapped inside homes and on rooftops cut off from food, clean drinking water, and essential supplies. Health experts are warning of a potential outbreak of deadly diseases, and medical facilities are out of commission. The situation is dire. Helicopters, boats, and high-riding trucks capable of navigating the treacherous, waterlogged areas are urgently required to reach the countless men, women, and children still awaiting rescue. The Nigerian media is issuing a desperate plea to the government, humanitarian organizations, international actors, and citizens across the nation. Step in now, before it's too late. For more information on how you can help, contact Professor Usman A. Tar, the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Internal Security, Borno State, on 0809-233-3955. Every second counts.
This is powered by Atlantic Television Network.
Welcome back. Now let's go into market reports, local and international business news for today. Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun welcomes support from the United States government to enhance the lives of Ogun State residents. Abiodun's deputy, Nomot Soloko Ayodele, conveyed this message to U.S. Ambassador Richard Mills during a courtesy call. Governor Abiodun's administration has invested heavily in empowering citizens over the past 5 years. Initiatives like the Okowo Dapo program have benefited approximately 100,000 women, boosting their financial capacity. Abiodun emphasized his commitment to sustainable development and seeks U.S. collaboration on projects aligning with his goal. Notably, he recently flagged off the long-delayed 70-kilometer Abeokuta-Ota Lagos Road reconstruction. U.S. Ambassador Richard Mills praised former President Olusegun Obasanjo's presidential library in Abeokuta as a symbol of hope for Nigeria's future. Mills acknowledged Obasanjo's vast knowledge and valued their discussion on U.S.-Nigeria mutual benefits. Mills' visit underscores the potential for strengthening the U.S.-Ogun State cooperation. Governor Abiodun's administration remains open to partnerships that drive growth and improve lives. President Bola Tinubu is strengthening economic ties with long-standing allies France, China and Denmark to deliver tangible benefits to citizens. He received letters of credence from the ambassadors of these countries at the State House of Abuja, pledging an expansion of economic diplomacy. Tinubu expressed optimism about strengthening ties with France, particularly during his upcoming state visit to Paris. He emphasized Nigeria's open door policy for French investors, highlighting economic reform initiatives aimed at enhancing institutional frameworks and citizens' livelihoods. French Ambassador Marc from Bostia praised Tinubu's bold leadership and committed to deepening bilateral economic engagement. China's expertise in trade and infrastructure is also being tapped. Tinubu discussed implementing agreements signed during his recent state visit, focusing on trade, economic progress, and infrastructure development. Chinese Ambassador Yu Dunhai expressed confidence in the growing partnership, citing collaborative projects in agriculture, health, and education. Denmark's leadership in democratic values, human rights, and energy initiatives has caught Tinubu's attention. He seeks collaborations benefiting Nigerian citizens, particularly in healthcare and education. Danish Ambassador Jens Ole Bak-Hassen echoed the importance of enhancing trade ties, citing Denmark's new African strategy. Tinubu's commitment to ensuring diplomatic engagement translates to measurable improvements for citizens is clear. These partnerships have the potential to boost Nigeria's economy and improve lives. President Bola Tinubu's administration has moved to address misconceptions surrounding the proposed tax reforms bills currently before the National Assembly. The president, through his special advisor on information strategy, Bayo Onanuga, clarified that the reforms will benefit all states and harmonize the country's tax laws for greater efficiency. Onanuga emphasized that the reforms aim to simplify tax obligations, eliminate multiple taxation, and promote a growth-oriented economy. The proposed laws will not increase taxes or lead to job losses, but rather avenues. 4 executive bills are under consideration, including the Nigeria Tax Bill, Nigeria Tax Administration Bill, Nigeria Revenue Service Establishment Bill, and Joint Revenue Board Establishment Bill. This bill seeks to streamline tax administration processes, rename the Federal Inland Revenue Service, and create a Joint Revenue Board. The proposed derivation-based VAT distribution model has sparked controversy, with Northern Governors Forum expressing concern that it would disadvantage the North. However, the presidency maintains that the new model is designed to create a fairer system, considering the place of supply or consumption for relevant goods and services. The reforms have garnered support from groups like the Niger Delta Forum and Middle Belt Forum, citing the need for equity and fairness. President Tinubu's administration remains committed to improving the lives of citizens through these critical reforms. Minister of Power Adebayo Adelabu has announced plans for complete over 100 abandoned transmission projects across the country with a budget of over 500 million naira. This move aims to strengthen power supply nationwide. Adelabu made this announcement during a visit to Kano Electricity Distribution Company, where he engaged with stakeholders to address obstacles hindering optimal performance in the power sector. He apologized for the recent prolonged blackouts, particularly in the northern regions. The abandoned projects, which are between 80% and 95% complete, will receive special funding in the 2025 budget. Adelabu emphasized the need to revamp the transmission architecture currently reliant on Shiroro and Jos channels. To mitigate future grid failures, Adelabu advocated for independent power policies to support the national grid. He also urged discos to intensify efforts in providing meters to consumers citing that only 33% currently have meters. Adedibu called on state governments to collaborate with the federal government in investing in power generation and distribution. He noted that 10 states already enjoy leverage to generate power and encouraged Kano State to join. Federal government has introduced a 9-month program allowing individuals to deposit dollar bills held outside formal banking systems without scrutiny. Minister of Finance Wale Edun announced this initiative after the 144th National Economic Council meeting. Program participants will not face penalties, taxes or questioning, providing funds are not linked to criminal or illicit activities. They must meet standard know your customer requirements set by banks to secure funds and integrate them into the financial system. This program aims to address rising commodity costs driven by foreign exchange rate fluctuations. By bringing dollars in, individuals can formalize their cash holdings and the financial system will gain additional dollar reserves, potentially stabilizing the exchange rates. Edu emphasized that this initiative encourages compliance with laws and normal business practices. Guidelines will be issued by the Ministry of Finance, followed by additional guidelines from the central bank. 25 million Nigerians have already benefited from federal social protection initiatives, including digital outreach, microenterprise loans, and sector-specific support. This program is a significant step towards promoting economic growth and stability. Broad money supply has increased by 64.6% year-on-year to 108.95 trillion naira in September 2024, according to Central Bank of Nigeria data. Quasi money, comprising savings deposits and time deposits, rose significantly by 58.7% year-on-year to 73.4 trillion naira. Credit to the government increased by 89.7% year-on-year to 40. Credit to the private sector grew by while credit to the private sector grew by 27.6% to 75.9 trillion naira. This resulted in a one-year rise in net domestic credit to 117.9 trillion naira. CBN's data indicates that currency outside banks increased by 48.8% year-on-year to 4.02 trillion naira in September 2024. Demand deposit also rose by 37.5% year-on-year to 31.5 trillion naira. Analysts predict interest rates will remain elevated in the fourth quarter of 2024 due to the increased cash reserve ratio. Lending rates are expected to trend upward as banks adjust to this change. Experts attribute the surge in government borrowing and higher interest rates. This complex interplay of factors will likely influence the financial system's performance in the coming months. Efforts to establish national career have gained momentum following unsuccessful attempts to launch Nigeria Air in May 2023. Government's bid to create a new national carrier has been marred by controversy, with airline operators of Nigeria dragging the government to court over the formation of Nigeria Air. Asset Management and Corporation of Nigeria, AMCON, has proposed merging Eric and Aero Contractors Airlines to create a national carrier. This merger would resolve debt issues and enable a quick start for the airline. Experts argue that a flag carrier rather than a national carrier would be more suitable, emphasizing private investors' importance in the arrangement. Nigeria's history with national carrier is complex, with defunct Nigeria Airways ceasing operations due to mismanagement, corruption, and debt. Establishing a national carrier remains a priority, with various strategies being proposed. AMCO's merger idea will be presented to the government afresh, despite initial rejection. Private sector participation and government support are crucial for success. Effective management and transparency will be essential in establishing a viable national carrier. National Sugar Development Council, NSDC, is calling on local and foreign investors to tap into Nigeria's vast sugar industry potential. Annual sugar demand stands at approximately 2 million metric tons, valued at about $2 billion. Executive Secretary Kama Bikrin noted that Africa's expansive export market, valued at $7 billion, positions Nigeria to set both local and continental markets. Recent currency fluctuations have made local sugar production more competitive. Government support is crucial, with favorable legislation and strong incentive frameworks aligning with NSDC's backward integration plan. A community integration model ensures sustainability by allocating investment to local development initiatives and reserving managerial job quotas for community members. Investment totaling $5 billion are required to achieve self-sufficiency in sugar production. Flour Mills of Nigeria has planned to invest $500 million in sugar operation in Niger State, increasing production from 100,000 to 400,000 metric tons per year. NSDC has declared 2025 as a year of acceleration for the sugar sector, committing to raise necessary fundings and support local and global investors. This move aims to drive growth, create jobs, and add value to the local economy through diversified sugar products. Kama Bikrin emphasized the industry's potential, citing high net present value and internal rate of return at a attainable scale, along with available financing options. Federal civil servants in 12 government ministries, departments, and agencies may face delays in receiving their salaries from October to December 2024. This delay is due to the exhaustion of the budget for personnel costs promoted by the recent approval of the new minimum wage. Director of Press at the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, Bowa Mokwa, confirmed that fewer than 12 MDAs are affected. However, he didn't disclose the specific entities involved. A circular from the Voice of Nigeria explained that the delay resulted from the payment of the 40% company's peculiar allowance, which wasn't included in the 2024 budget. Personnel costs from October to December will be augmented from the service-wide vote. Affected civil servants will start receiving their salaries soon, according to Mokwa. He reassured that the issue has been resolved and payments will commence immediately. Mokwa refuted claims that the salary delay will persist until the end of the year. Staff members from affected agencies confirmed the situation, with some colleagues already receiving their salaries. Dangote Petroleum Refinery has clarified that it received no payment from the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, for refined petroleum products. This contradicts IPMAN's claim that its members paid 40 billion naira to the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited for petrol but couldn't load it from the Dangote refinery. Anthony Chejina, Group Chief Branding and Communications Officer, stated that discussions with IPMAN are ongoing, but they are not direct business dealings. He emphasized that Dangote Petroleum Refinery cannot be held responsible for payments made to other entities. Chejina noted that NNPCL has not approved or authorized the release of premium motor spirit to IPMAN. He invited IPMAN to register with Dangote Petroleum Refinery and make direct payments, highlighting the refinery's capacity to meet national demand for petroleum products. Dangote Petroleum Refinery can load 22,900 trucks per day and evacuate products by sea. Chejina urged stakeholders to refrain from unfounded statements, promoting collaboration and a unified approach. Local pharmaceutical manufacturers are urging National Agency for Food, Drug and Administration and Control, NAFDAC, to expedite product approval processes. This move aims to fill gaps left by existing multinational companies, enabling local producers to meet essential medicine demands. Pharmaceutical Manufacturers Group of Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, PMG-MAN, Chairman Oluwatosin Joloyemi, emphasized timely regulatory support is crucial for continued supply. Local manufacturers face challenges, including high operational costs and regulatory complexities. Recent exit by GlaxoSmithKline and Novartis have led to skyrocketing prices of essential drugs like Augmentin and Seretide. However, NAFDAC has agreed to prioritize local manufacturers, supporting their growth. Joloyemi suggests establishing standards supporting local manufacturing, citing India's access. He notes that streamlining registration processes will enable local companies to quickly scale up production. NAFDAC's Director General, Professor Mojishola Adeyeye, aims to reduce its dependence on imported pharmaceuticals from 70% to 30% by 2025. Deputy Director of Public Affairs, Christiana Obiazikwo, confirmed NAFDAC's commitment to prioritizing local manufacturers. We're open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials. And you can connect with us and watch us on ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, X formerly Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. NIPCO PLC has reaffirmed the support for President Bola Tinubu's petroleum industry reforms, focusing on expanding downstream gas infrastructure. At a recent Aso Villa meeting, NIPCO's senior executive, Ramesh Kasangra, expressed alignment with the government's goal to promote compressed natural gas as a cleaner fuel option. Kasangra highlighted NIPCO's 15-year foresight in recognizing CNG's potential, establishing groundwork for motorists to transition to gas. This aligns with Tinubu's presidential compressed natural gas initiative, increasing access to CNG-powered transportation. NIPCO is investing $100 million in a 100-kilometer gas pipeline from Lagos to Ibadan, expanding its gas infrastructure. This project supports the administration's reform goals, enabling more motorists and industries to adopt cleaner energy initiatives. Kasangra praised Tinubu's proactive energy policies, noting they reflect the global shift towards cleaner fuels. He emphasized the economic benefits of CNG, priced at 230 naira per SMC, compared to SCM, compared to petrol's 1,000 naira per litre. Domestic CNG production reduces the reliance on imported petrol, enhancing economic sustainability and contributing to environmental goals. NIPCO's commitment to gas infrastructure expansion demonstrates its confidence in Tinubu's reforms. Niger Delta Power Holding Company Limited has partnered with Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) to tackle dishonest contractors and enforce discipline. NDPHC Managing Director Jennifer Adigije met EFCC Executive Chairman Ola Olukoyede in Abuja to solidify this collaboration. Adigije emphasized her commitment to transparency and strict compliance with regulations, drawing from her experience in Central Bank of Nigeria's procurement department. She vowed to ensure due process is strictly enforced at NDPHC. Olukoyede congratulated Adigije on her appointment, stressing integrity and accountability in public service. He noted corrupt practices by public officials would be revisited even after leaving office. EFCC and NDPHC are critical to addressing corruption and power supply to urgent national issues. This partnership aims to promote transparency, accountability, and discipline among contractors. Olukoyede pledged EFCC support to NDPHC in addressing contractors' non-compliance with contractual duties, financial laws, and procurement processes. NDPHC's efforts to uphold due process and regulatory compliance were commended by Olukoyede. He encouraged Adigije to maintain transparency, advising her to not do anything you cannot defend tomorrow. Yesterday's Naira's values saw mixed trends in the parallel market. It appreciated to 1,730 naira per dollar from 1,725 naira per dollar on Wednesday. However, in the Nigerian Autonomous Foreign Exchange Market, NAFEM, Naira depreciated to 1,675 naira 49 kobo per dollar. This depreciation indicates a 44 naira 32 kobo decline from 1,631 naira 17 kobo per dollar on Wednesday, according to FMDQ data. Conversely, dollar trading volume in the official market rose 29% to $166.61 million from $128.98 million. Naira's fluctuations have narrowed the margin between parallel market and NAFEM rates to 54 naira 51 kobo per dollar from 118 naira 83 kobo per dollar on Wednesday. Market analysts attribute these fluctuations to various economic factors. Experts suggest increasing crude oil production and reducing dependence on foreign goods to stabilize Naira. Economic policies and reliance on imported goods also impacts Naira's value. Naira's performance will likely remain volatile until economic fundamentals improve. Federal government has signed an agreement with European Union and German government to provide £17.9 million support for off-grid electricity projects. This partnership aims to increase investments in renewable energy, energy efficiency, and rural electrification. Inga Stefan Weeks, head of section Green and Digital Economy at European Union delegation, emphasized achieving a cleaner future is a collective responsibility. European Union has continued to support governments' energy security plans and transition to sustainable energy future. German Deputy Ambassador Johannes Lehn reaffirmed Germany's commitment to helping achieve energy transition targets. German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development commissioned 8.9 million euros for NESP's third phase, with European Union adding 9 million euros permanent. 9 million euros. Permanent Secretary of Ministry of Power Mahmouda Mauman noted projects will help close gap of 100 million people without electricity access. Renewable energy is significant in addressing challenges of providing electricity for unserved rural communities. NESP's third phase will provide electricity to rural communities not connected to national grid, building on successes of previous phases. This partnership demonstrates international commitment to supporting Nigeria's energy development. You're watching ATM Business Atlantic Television Network. We will be back after this break.
The people of Maiduguri need your help. A catastrophic flood has engulfed the city, leaving over 1 million residents stranded and fighting for survival. Entire communities are submerged, with people trapped inside homes and on rooftops cut off from food, clean drinking water and essential supplies. Health experts are warning of a potential outbreak of deadly diseases, and medical facilities are out of commission. The situation is dire. Helicopters, boats and high-riding trucks capable of navigating the treacherous, waterlogged areas are urgently required to reach the countless men, women and children still awaiting rescue. The Nigerian media is issuing a desperate plea to the government, humanitarian organizations, international actors and citizens across the nation. Step in now, before it's too late. For more information on how you can help, contact Professor Usman A. Tar, the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Internal Security, Borno State, on 0809-233-3955. Every second counts.
This is powered by Atlantic Television Network.
Welcome back. You're watching ATN Business and Atlantic Television Network. Now to the rest of the stories. Intel Corporation shares jumped 12% in extended trading Thursday, driven by better than expected revenue and quarterly guidance. Intel reported revenue of $13.28 billion, surpassing expectations of $13.02 billion, despite a 6% year-on-year decline. Net loss stood at $16.99 billion, or 3.38 per share, largely due to restructuring and impairment charges. CEO Pat Gelsinger's strategic moves, including spinning off Intel's foundry business, aim to revitalize growth. Recent product launches such as Xeon 6 server processors and Gaudi artificial intelligence accelerators demonstrate Intel's commitment to innovation. Intel's data center and AI segment saw revenue increase 9% to $3.35 billion, exceeding expectations. Client computing group revenue declined 7% to $7.33 billion. Looking ahead, Intel forecasts fiscal third quarter adjusted earnings of 12 cents per share and revenue between $13.3 billion and $14.3 billion, beating analyst estimates. Wall Street experienced significant losses Thursday as disappointing quarterly reports from major technology companies are impending earnings releases weigh on investor sentiment. The S&P 500 plummeted 1.86% to 5,705.45, its largest single-day decline since September 3rd. The Nasdaq Composite tumbled 2.76% to 18,095.15, while the Dow Jones Industrial Average slid 0.9% to to 41,763.46. Microsoft shares fell 6% due to underwhelming revenue guidance, overshadowing its quarterly earnings beat. Meta Platforms dropped over 4% after missing user growth expectations and warning of increased capital expenditures in 2025. Analysts attribute the decline to investors' growing skepticism about tech companies' growth prospects. Ross Mayfield, investment strategist at Bird Private Wealth Management, noted AI's enthusiasm is no longer enough. These companies must deliver growth that justifies their valuations. This week's big tech earnings have been mixed. Alphabet rose nearly 3% Wednesday following strong revenue growth, while AMD fell over 10% due to disappointing guidance. Thursday's personal consumption expenditure price index showed 12-month inflation at 2.1%, in line with estimates and approaching the Federal Reserve 2% target. This data, along with Friday's October payrolls report, will inform the Fed's November 7 interest rates decision. Major averages are poised to end the week in the red, capping a volatile month ahead of the U.S. presidential election. Huntington Ingalls Industries, the U.S. largest military shipbuilder, plummeted 25% to $187.36 on Thursday, marking its worst ever one-day decline. Disappointing Q3 earnings triggered the slump. Earnings $2.56 per share versus $3.85 expected. Revenue $2.75 billion versus $2.87 billion expected. CEO Chris Katzner cited uncertainties in Navy contract awards for Virginia-class and Columbia-class submarines as a key factor. Additional challenges included supply chain delays, labor inefficiencies, reduced experience levels in production and subversion. These issues impacted manufacturing performance and risk reduction efforts. Huntington Ingalls, spun off from Northrop Grumman in 2011, faces significant challenges in meeting investor expectations. Apple's Q4 earnings surpasses expectations driven by solid revenue growth. Key figures: earnings per share $1.64 versus $1.60 expected. Revenue $94.93 billion versus $94.58 billion expected. Investor focus: December quarter guidance, Apple's largest sales period, iPhone sales cycle and potential revenue growth driven by Apple Intelligence. Wearables category perform, Apple Watch and AirPods. Analyst insights, mixed iPhone demand indicators, Apple Intelligence features yet to drive significant upgrades, pressure from Chinese rivals in Greater China positives. Strong iPhone sales in China, up 20% versus last year. New Apple Watch and AirPods model may reverse wearables sales decline. Guidance: Apple does not provide official guidance but expects services unit growth 14% year-on-year. Revenue growth expected to be around 5.6 year-on-year. That's $95 billion. Executive change: CFO Luca Mestri to step down January 1st, replaced by Kevin Pereg. Amazon's online advertising business surged 19% year-on-year to $14.3 billion in Q3, matching analyst estimates. Amazon's overall Q3 sales reached $158.9 billion, exceeding expectations of $157.2 billion. Advertising revenue accounted for a significant portion of Amazon's growth, solidifying its position as a major competitor in digital advertising. Currently, Alphabet's Google leads the global digital ad market with 27.7% share, followed by Meta at 22.8% and Amazon at 8.8%. Amazon's advertising growth has been steady, posing a challenge to established players. Other major players in digital advertising reported mixed results. Meta's ad revenue rose 19% to $39.9 billion, while Alphabet's increased 10% to $65.85 billion. Microsoft's search and news ad revenue grew 18% year-on-year. Snap and Reddit also reported 83 Q3 earnings, while revenue rising 15% to $1.37 billion and 68% to $348.4 million respectively. These results indicate a thriving digital advertisement market. Amazon's advertising business is expected to continue growing, driven by its expanding e-commerce platform and innovative ad offerings. Microsoft's latest earnings report exceeded expectations by investors focused on the company's cautious forecast for the current period. Spending shares plummeting 6% on Thursday. Microsoft's revenue guidance for the December quarter, ranging from $68.1 billion to $69.1 billion, fell short of analyst estimates of $69.83 billion. Despite solid Q1 results, the softer Q2 outlook tempered enthusiasm. Key highlights: Microsoft fiscal Q1 revenue rose 16% to $65.59 billion, beating estimates. Earnings per share reached $3.30, surpassing the $3.10 average estimate. Net income increased 11% to $24.67 billion. Azure cloud infrastructure revenue grew 33%. CFO Amy Hood forecast 31 to 32% Azure growth in constant currency for Q2. Analysts at BofA Global Research viewed Q1 results as solid, but noted that softer Q2 outlook. They maintain a buy recommendation for the stock. Microsoft's report comes amidst intense competition in the cloud infrastructure market, with Google reporting 35% annual growth in its cloud business and Amazon scheduled to release its results. European markets ended October on a sore note, closing 1.2% lower yesterday. This decline marks the steepest loss in a year, with all sectors and major bosses in red. Preliminary data revealed Eurozone inflation rose to 2% in October, surpassing expectations of 1.9%. September's reading was 1.7%. This development will likely influence the European Central Bank's decision on interest rate cuts. Economists now predict a 25 basis point rate cut in December rather than the anticipated 50 basis point reduction. Wednesday's economic data showed the Eurozone economy grew 0.4% in Q3, exceeding expectations. UK house builders retreated as government's bond yields soared following Wednesday's budget announcement. Economists argue the package will be mildly inflationary and slow down Bank of England rate cuts. Charlie Campbell, equity researcher at Stifel, notes house builders are sensitive to interest rate swamps. Societe Generale buckled the trend, closing 11.3% higher than posting a 10.5% year-on-year revenue jump in Q3 and announcing leadership changes. Campbell remains optimistic about the sector's outlook, citing gradual interest rate reductions and potential government support. Morocco's government is targeting increased investment in its aerospace sector, mirroring its success in car manufacturing. Plans include creating hubs to shorten supply chains and share expertise. Morocco's 147 aerospace industrial plants currently produce various components from cables to high-tech engine parts. Exports reached $2.2 billion last year, supplying global manufacturers like Boeing and Airbus. Brazilian plane maker Embraer recently signed a preliminary deal to invest in Morocco's civilian and defense aerospace sector. This includes establishing a maintenance and repair plants, according to Morocco's industry ministry. Airplane engineer maker Safran also partnered with Morocco's government to build a €130 million maintenance, repair and overhaul facility. Moroccan airline RAM plans to quadruple its fleet to 200 aircraft within 14 years, strengthening its position as a carrier linking Africa to Europe and the Americas. RAM's expansion and Morocco's growing aerospace industry present opportunities for investors and global manufacturers. Morocco's industry ministry aims to attract more investment, replicating its automotive success. Morocco's strategic location and growing expertise make it an attractive destination for aerospace investment. This is where we wrap it up on this edition of 18 Business on Atlantic Television Network, right here in the city of Port Harcourt. I am Wendy Aguma. We are open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials. Stay connected on ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network. Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV and Network One. X, formerly Twitter, Atlantic TV and Network. Watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. Peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching and good afternoon.
The people of Maiduguri need your help. A catastrophic flood has engulfed the city, leaving over 1 million residents stranded and fighting for survival. Entire communities are submerged with people trapped inside homes and on rooftops cut off from food, clean drinking water and essential supplies. Health experts are warning of a potential outbreak of deadly diseases, and medical facilities are out of commission. The situation is dire. Helicopters, boats and high-riding trucks capable of navigating the treacherous, waterlogged areas are urgently required to reach the countless men, women and children still awaiting rescue.